Okay, today is the 22nd of May. I wanted to talk to some of you people about, building up your athleticism and also running. If you are a beginner runner, this is the video for you. Um, if you are starting a weight loss journey and you feel like you want to uh, get your diet under control first, I do advocate that you walk at least 15 minutes per day. Um, Also, if you want to incorporate running into your routine as well, I'm going to talk to you about that now. So I have been running for about 5 to 6 years. I only have one child. That is my son in the background. He's almost 2 years old. So I'm going to be talking to you about this is just the basics of running right now. I will talk to you about losing weight after you've had your child as well. Um, but just beginning when I was about 29 or 30, I really did not like my weight for whatever reason. Each time I've lost weight, and I've lost weight twice, I always go up to 195 pounds, and I never even reach 200 pounds. I always just go up to 195 and then start losing weight. I come right on back down. So the first time I did this was about when I was like, when I actually lost all my weight. It was probably about 31-ish. It took me about 2 years. I mean, a little trial and error there. I used to work out at LA Fitness and Planet Fitness, and I'm about to start working out at Planet Fitness probably in a few days or a few weeks when they open back up. But when I first started this, all I did, I had no training or anything. All I would do is just do cardio on the treadmill. So I'm going to talk to you about that. What you can do is, if you're a newbie at it, you don't have to start off at 6 miles per hour and then bump up to 8 miles per hour for HIIT. I can't even do that now, and I would consider myself an intermediate runner, or a more advanced runner than a beginner, and I can't even do that right now. So, and you don't even need to do that to lose weight. Okay, really, you want just 15 minutes of cardio every day, and if you want to add in some weights, you can always get some 5-pound weights or some 8-pound weights. If you are looking to start a heavier routine, I can talk to you about that later. But right now, this is just for beginners, maybe people who have a bad BMI, people who really do need to lose the weight, and they're struggling with that exercise portion. So when you get on the treadmill, you have some options. You can just do manual. And when you start on that manual, it's just going to have you walking at a very low speed, probably like at 1.0. I think that's what it starts at. You're going to want to bump that up to 2.8 miles per hour. Okay, so you would walk for 5 minutes. I still do that now, even if I'm going to run for 10 minutes at 7 miles per hour. I still start out with a 5-minute warm up. So if you feel comfortable walking at a high speed, you can always start at 4.0 miles per hour. But if you put in that number and you find out that that's an actual jog for you, which is common, you can just go ahead and bump down to like 2.8 or 2.9. If you still feel that that's too fast, then you can bump down to 2.5 miles per hour. So your 5-minute walk will be done at 2.5 miles per hour. Then you want to, right at probably 4 minutes and 45 seconds, you can go ahead and input 3.5 miles per hour, or whichever is a jog for you. You want to stay in that 3 to 4 miles per hour range. If you're beginning and you're not, you're not able to run at a certain speeds, you can stay right between 3 to 4 miles per hour. Okay, and you would be doing that for 5 minutes. Now, if you can do it for 10 minutes, that would be great, and that would get your 15 miles, excuse me, that would get your 15 minutes of cardio completed. Okay, and then after the 5 minutes is up, you're going to bump back down to whatever beginner speed you started at. So you can bump back down to 2.8 miles per hour, and you can just walk. Okay, so it's walking for 5 minutes, then running or jogging for 5 minutes, and then walking for 5 minutes. When I was first starting out, I just preferred to do, again, mind you, this is about 6 years ago when I didn't have my child or nothing, but I just preferred to do cardio. And probably like after a couple of weeks or 3 weeks into it, I changed my workout regimen, and I added in some weightlifting, but I really didn't like how that made me feel. I was 190 pounds or maybe 180 pounds, and it just felt like I was bulking up instead of, getting lean and trim. Some women, they work out for different reasons. They weightlift for different reasons. Some women do aspire to be like a female bodybuilder, and that's not me. I mean, when I work out, when I run, and when I lift weights, I have this idea in mind that I want a very lean and sexy body. I don't want to be muscles all over the place and stuff like that. I mean, that's just not my thing. I mean, some people may think, oh, that's a very sexy look, to be extremely bulky and muscular. And I have, once you get further on into your workout regimen, depending on how serious you take it, you may find yourself doing bodybuilding poses in the mirror, just to, kind of like flex and see how your body is. You can't see it now, but my back is extremely well toned because I do kickbacks and I also do one arm rows, usually with weights that are between 15 and 20 pounds. So, but I digress. So you're starting out, so you really should just be at about 15 to 20 minutes of cardio. And actually that worked for me, even when I progressed along. So starting out, let's say that you do this every day, and you really do need to be, if you are serious about your weightlifting or your workout journey, your weight loss journey, you do really need to be doing this every single day. I'm gonna get some water here, and hold on just a moment. I have to change the TV for my son. Hold on. What? There you go, DeMarcus. Okay, so I'm just gonna pour some water here, and I'll finish talking to you about some tips. Okay, so you should really be trying to do this every day. Sometimes if you want to start out slow, you can do it every other day. That's fine. Just assuming that you are doing this every day, what you'll want to do is you'll want to make a diary, make a workout diary. I mean, I used Blogspot Blogger for a while, and then I turned that same blogger that I had, that same blogger website that I had, I turned it into an actual website, which is pafitpro.com. But you're going to want to just use some kind of diary that shows that you logged in a workout. You can also get a Fitbit. This is the one I have right here. I think it was $229, this one right here. But it comes with an app. Well, I mean, you can use an app with it. I mean, I tried other fitness watches, but they didn't quite work. Anyway, so you're going to want to make sure that you're using a workout diary. And the reason for this is that you may need to tweak your workout regimen. Okay, so kind of like you observe your body while you're doing a certain workout regimen for 3 to 4 weeks or 3 to 6 weeks. And then you decide what you want to change, what you may want to take out as far as what you're weightlifting, whether you need to go up, another pound size for your weights. That would be like, say, if you're doing 15 pounds weights, if you're using 15-pound weights, you would want to go up to like maybe 17.5 or just whatever is at the gym. So in this case, if you are beginning and if you're doing cardio only, you can lose weight like this, that's fine. If you are doing cardio only, what you can do is you can, at the end of 3 weeks, when you've logged in every day, you can always change up your workout regimen. So that's what I like to do, especially when I'm increasing speeds. I like to go 3 to 4 weeks at a certain speed and then change to another speed. So that means that instead of walking at 2.8 miles per hour and running at 3.5 miles per hour and then walking again at 2.8 miles per hour, what you would do is you would start off at maybe anywhere between 3.2 miles per hour and 3.5 miles per hour walking. And then you're going to scale up and you will do 3.8 miles per hour to 4.0 miles per hour. And you would do that running for your 5 minutes. And then you would do 3.2 miles per hour to 3.5 miles per hour walking. And you can always change up how much you run as well. So instead of doing a 5-minute run, you can change it to a 7-minute run. And if you can always do like a 10-minute run. So instead of doing 10 minutes worth of walking, you can do 5 minutes worth of walking for your warm-up and then 10 minutes of jogging at whatever speeds that you want to. I mean, there's nothing much I can say there. I can only tell you what made me lose weight and what I ran. Some of you might actually run much faster, but the first time around, I was running. I think I was doing about 3.5 to 3.8 or to 3.5 to 4.0 walking. Okay. And then I would do 15 minutes after that. So it's a total of 20 minutes. In the 15 minutes, it would be 5 minutes at 5.0 miles per hour, then 5 minutes at 5.1 miles per hour, and then 5 minutes at 5.2 miles per hour. Okay, so that equals out to 20 minutes. And what you would burn there would be like something like about between 250 to 350 calories. Okay, so that's going to be the bulk of your calorie burn. And then if you can, hold on, I'm just going to drink. Okay, then if you can, you would couple that with a weightlifting workout. So it would be a total of 20 minutes cardio and then about 30 to 40 minutes weightlifting. Always keep a workout diary. You can always use workout sheets as well that tell you, weightlifting sheets that tell you exactly what you need to do. That's been my thing. That's the way I remember, what to what weightlifting exercise to do, and I just go straight in a row. I actually learned about that, about the weightlifting exercises that you're supposed to do. I learned that from Montel Jordan. Excuse me. I think his name is Montel Williams. Sorry about that. Montel Williams and his wife Wendy Ludovic or Lingwovic, something like that. Well, his wife at the time. Anyways, they had a book, and I always buy this book. I mean, always. If I lose it, I buy it again. But I think it's like Body Changes or something. You can get it on Amazon, and that's what I've been using for the past, gosh, maybe it's been a really long time. I think I actually bought that book in high school. So I've been using it for a really long time. I usually just use the beginner workout. I tried to use the intermediate, and it just didn't work for me. I also add on other weightlifting exercises as well, but that's just like my core workout, with the running. So now you've been working out. Let's say you've been working out for about a month and a half. And let's say instead of working out at the gym, you want to work out at home. Okay. With this aerobics, these aerobic tapes, be very leery of those. Some people do have a great body type, and they can just do like 30 minutes of an aerobic workout, which is really nothing but a whole lot of dancing, and they can lose like they can lose weight. They can lose about 8 pounds a month. They don't have to go to the gym every day. They can work out every other day, or twice a week, 3 times a week, something ridiculous like that, and they can literally lose weight with their diet and everything like that. But for everybody else, be very leery about aerobics videos and stuff like that. I mean, I plan on doing an aerobics video myself, but when I do it, it's more like for fun, for me. Like, say if I want to do one now, I mean, it's more like for fun. It's more like leisure, and you'll see this if you get into exercising regularly a lot. What's going to happen is you'll start doing workouts that are more like leisurely. So like right now, I have some rollerblades, and that's what I do. It claims online that you can burn like 500 calories rollerblading, but when I rollerblade, I can rollerblade probably like 2 miles and stuff like that. And I never see it as losing weight. I see it as, just for fun, to learn how to rollerblade, this kind of thing. But I was gonna say something else. Hold on just a moment. Yeah. So you're about a month into your journey, and you're wanting to work out outside. Okay. When you work out outside, you are going to want to use Google Maps. Everybody's pretty much the same. I mean, we've all walked someplace that's close to home. I mean, that's all it is. Sometimes you can walk and jog. If you have a dog, you can walk your dog. I don't see too many people running with their dog, which is kind of strange. Whenever I do see people out there with their dog, most of the time they're walking their dog, and they're just walking with the dog. And you can get in, a calorie burn with just a brisk walk as well. But if you're wanting to match the calorie burn to what you're seeing at the gym, you're going to want to use Google Maps. You're going to pick a place that's kind of close to you. You can start off doing like a half mile, and you're going to want to jog that. When I first started out running, I could only run outside. I could only run probably about 4 or 5 minutes, at the most 7 minutes. Now I run the whole way through, I run 2 hours and I don't have to stop or anything. That is a big no-no for me. When I'm outside running, at this point, I never like to stop. I mean, I can talk to you about that later. But right now, for you, if you are still in this beginner part, you are going to want to, if you do want to work out outside, you can always walk briskly, which will burn you some calories as well. But you really want to focus on running. So if you run outside and you're only able to run about 5 minutes at the most, or maybe even 3 minutes at the most, that's okay. Just keep doing that run. And then in a couple of weeks, like I said, you can just up that. So instead of running at 4 to 5 minutes, you're going to run about 7 to 8 minutes. And you can keep changing that. You can do it weekly. You can change it weekly. You can do it bi-weekly. You can do it every 3 weeks, every 4 weeks. You can just keep tweaking your workout regimen until you find something that works for you as far as weight loss. Hold on just a moment. I'm just drinking this water. You have this mandatory water intake. That's why I would recommend Fitbit, honestly, because the app that you have, it's compatible with every device, whether it be an Apple device or an Android device. It's compatible. I mean, I went through my changes, my trials with these fitness watches, and the very cheap ones that were $30, they never worked with my phone or my tablet. So I ended up having to get this Fitbit watch from Target. It's about $230. Okay, about $230, and you know, it works out fine. Hold on. No? Okay, anyways, so after you begin your workout, after you've been running, let's say you've been running for about 3 months and you've been on a plan where you're working out like every other day, or preferably I would say work out every day. Like if you can't do a run that day, the least you can do is maybe lift some weights. You know, just lift some weights. You can always just do a dumbbell curl set. That would be 2 dumbbell in your hand, and you would just be going up like this. You can do that. Just one of those is fine. Now, after you have been working out for about 3 months, you might find that you want to change up your workout regimen, especially as far as running. You can definitely do this. You can maybe do a longer run. Instead of just that 7-minute run, you can try and do a 15-minute run nonstop. Now, if you have to walk on your way back, you're welcome to do that. But you want to, the main thing I want to drum into y'all's head is the benefits of running. I actually used to have a size 40 double D cup, something ridiculous like that. And in high school, I had like a 36 or a 34C. Right now, I'm actually at a B cup. And when you see my breast, it really does look like maybe a surgeon has went in there and gotten you kind of perky. Those are the benefits of running. Okay. So I guess let's see here. I'm trying to think of some tips that I can give you. Okay, so when you are out, if you are walking, and if you are running, you'll want to curtail running to the store to get something to eat, or walking to the store to get something to eat. Like I used to do this when I was in high school, and off and on, just run here or walk there just so you can get you like a soda or some Flamin' Hots or something like that. you just want to separate exercise from like leisure and eating. You see what I mean? That's that works out better for you than anything else. Um, I do want to tell you that you can work out even if you fast. Because I am into fasting, so wanted to let you know that if you are a beginner faster and a beginner runner, or if you're just any kind of beginner with this, you are going to want to do a hi sweetie, yes sweetie, hello. You are going to want to do a very brisk walk. You can do like a 5 to 7 minute walk. But if you're intermediate, you can do a longer time running. I did want to tell you that I try so hard to never stop. Not even a try. Like 90% of the time, I do not stop. I ran into some problems with laxatives because I do have this way that I want to be, especially with this weight. The weight is a very big deal to me. So if I have a day where I've gone out to eat or whether I've overeaten, my mind tells me to flush out your body. And I did have this issue with laxatives, but I stopped taking laxatives. So especially when I saw what it was making me do. Just one day of taking laxatives on my 2-hour run, I ended up having to stop like 2 or 3 times just to use the bathroom. And I don't like that. I really don't like that. I think it ruins your momentum. And it's just really not a good idea. Hold on a second. Just a moment. Relax, Marcus. I'm gonna turn this up for you. Now let's gently place it down. Yes. But I just don't like to. I don't like to run and then stop. I feel like it takes away from the momentum, and that's just not my thing. Now, I did want to talk to you about falling while you're running. You are going to want to get some gloves. They sell them at Walmart. They usually say Gold's Gym on them. And what they have is a padding there. This is not something that's localized to me. When I look up runners and falling, the first thing that came up was some woman who had ran and she was running and she forgot there was a speed bump there, or she didn't see it. That exact same thing happened to me when I was doing DoorDash. Okay. I am rushing to this apartment, trying to get the food on time, and then rushing to my car because there might be another order. And as soon as I'm running outside of the apartment complex, I'm taking up my speed because I'm kind of thinking, oh, well, I can get in a little brief exercise as well. And wham, I hit the pavement and I scraped. That's not fun. When you scrape, it is not fun. So you might see some things here on my hands that's literally from running. What I did to remedy the situation is I bought some gloves, and I also bought some knee pads from Walmart. Okay. What that did was that helped me out because I still fall on occasion, and it's usually because of an uneven sidewalk. So when you're walking on a sidewalk, it's not a big deal. But when you're running, you might not notice that there's a part of the sidewalk that's a little bit up, and you might just trip just based off of that. So I get the elbow pads, and I also get the knee pads, and I get to running. Usually I like to run at night, and I do 2 hours of running, which well, the Fitbit says that it burns about 1,200 calories. It's been right about everything else, water intake and everything like that. So it might be right about that. Like right now, I ran earlier in the morning, which I'm not very happy about because I ran at 7 a.m. and my run ended at 9 a.m. Um, and I just wasn't happy about it because the sun was out. I'm not really too excited about getting over the top dark. I'm not really excited about that. So a lot of the times I run at night, but I'm also not excited about weight gain or even like, my stomach. I'm not really, excited about letting my body get doughy or anything like that. I love how my back turned out and my boobs. My boobs turned out very nicely, and it was really due to running. You know what? I actually got more of a benefit when COVID-19 hit, and those gyms were closed down versus when I was running at the gym. So let me talk about that and just kind of like the weird things that will go on with your body as far as running, and your body getting used to running. So be aware of this. Your body is actually going to get used to running. So the first time I had this had a fitness journey, a weight loss journey, I was about 29 to 30. It took me about 1.5 years or 2 years, something like that. And I got down to pretty much the same weight. Now, you know what? I actually got down and I got pregnant. So that's what stopped me from getting into my 120s and kept me pretty much at like 140 to 150. Okay, so I got down. I got down into the 130s, but then I eventually gained weight. So that put me back into like the 140s. And then when I got pregnant, I just kind of, went up there. I do plan on getting pregnant again, just because I do love kids. And I just don't like the idea of leaving my son just with nobody, just me. Like, that's not cool. But when I first started out working out, I was just, I've never had a trainer or anything like that. I was just doing what I think works. And I eventually lost weight, especially with the escalated or the stepped speed limit, the stepped miles per hour. What I would do is I would get in there, do 5 minutes at such and such, which is just the warm up, and then start off at 5.0 and then end at 5.2. And then I changed that around. So that time before I got pregnant, by the time I got pregnant, I was running at probably like 5.7, 5.8, 5.9. So I was running probably between 5.7 and 6 miles per hour. Some other things that I used to be able to do was I would run 20 minutes and then weightlift and then do another 20-minute run. Okay. This second time around, after I had my son, I found out that there wasn't so many workouts I could do. And then when my body finally got over, having the baby and stuff like that, and when I can work out again, I noticed that the speeds between 5.0 and 6.0, I noticed that they weren't really changing my body. They weren't changing my body at all. It wasn't really helping me lose weight. Like right now, because when I was working out before I had my son, when I was about 195, 185, 175, 165, I could go in for a workout and see a 2-pound difference, literally see a 2-pound difference after I got done. And that's why I was wondering, why am I not seeing that on the scale? Because that was super cool to me. That's going to be one of the coolest things that you'll see, especially if you're overweight. You're going to see you know, that dramatic weight loss, and it's going to be really cool. When you get down to like 130, or sometimes even you know, more than that, or just depending on what your weight loss goals have changed to, you might not be so happy, because it's like right now I'm 130 pounds and my stomach is not, you know, what I want it to be. So you'll notice that. But anyways, I wasn't seeing the results that I needed. So what I started to do was change up the speeds. So I mean, I started back, of course, I started back at 4.5 miles per hour. And then when I got, you know, comfortable with that, probably like 2 weeks into it or something like that, I changed up to 5 miles per hour. And that is kind of like my resting jogging pace. I've actually walked that pace. And I'll tell you why. Because at some point I was running, I was doing 5 miles per hour. That's just like a brief jog. No, that's not even right. What I changed it to was walking at like 3 miles per hour or 3.8 miles per hour. DeMarcus, stop. So walking at 3.5 to 3.8 miles per hour. And then right after that 5 minutes, or right at 4 minutes and 45 seconds, what I would do is I would change the speed. I would put in 7.0, and then I would resign myself to run this 7.0. And I would do it like as long as I could. Sometimes I could do a 7.0 at 10 minutes. A lot of times I could do it at 5 minutes, and I had workarounds for that. But after the 7.0 mile per hour run was complete, I started messing with the speed again and trying to get myself to run at 9.0 miles per hour. Now I just couldn't. I could only do like maybe at the most 20 or 30 seconds at 9.0 miles per hour, and then bump back down. I did like a de-escalating speed. So if I couldn't do the 9.0 miles per hour, I would go ahead and say, okay, well, I just ran 5 to 10 minutes at 7.0 miles per hour. So let me drop down to 6.5 miles per hour. And then after 6.5 miles per hour, let me run 5 minutes at 6.0 miles per hour. And then after that, let's go to 5.5 miles per hour, and then 5.0 miles per hour. When I was this year, right before, I would say right before the end of March, I was running about 30 minutes, somewhere in there, 25 to 30 minutes. And then you do your weightlifting, and then you go home. For whatever reason, this time around, after my son, I haven't been able to really go on the treadmill after I weight lift. Like I'm usually too exhausted. This has 2 straws because my son was drinking out of this cup because we had some juice earlier. But yeah, as far as your body changing, your body will adapt. Now, once the gyms closed, I kind of made it up in my mind. I was like, there's no way I'm just going to sit around and get doughy and get out of experience with running. So I would run every day. Now, I used to run during the day, but I noticed that I was getting a little bit too dark. That the strangest thing though for me is that that's when my body gets the most soaked. So it was a hard decision for me. And I ran today and I just didn't like it because from about 7 a.m. to 8:30, somewhere around there, the sun is not really out. I mean, it is, but it's not beaming down on you. Right at 8:30 is when the sun is beaming down on you, and yes, you burn more calories possibly, but it's not worth it to me because I just don't. I really don't like that kind of thing. can't think of anything else that I want to tell you. I do want to do a video showing you how I run up hills, how you can maintain your momentum. Also, I want to tell you about some websites here. So let me just go to some, DeMarcus, relax. So let me go to some of these websites. Okay, so the first one is going to be Calculator Soup. Hold on a second here. Let me see how you can do this. Let me see if it comes right up with the search term. It doesn't. Well, that's a strange one. But you can go to calculatorsoup.com, and then you can just go ahead and put in pace calculator, and it should, yes, it should come right up. So now you're going to want to make sure that you note exactly where you went. And I can tell you, I can show you how to use Google Maps or how I use it, just to make sure that you have the right mileage. But today I ran 9.8 miles. Okay. And it took me, I'm using the pace calculator, it took me 2 hours and 5 minutes. 2 hours, 5 minutes. Okay, so we're going to calculate pace. Okay, so my pace was 4.7 miles per hour. And I really want to talk to you about this as well, because I am talking to you about changing up your speeds with the treadmill. But you also should know that when you work out outside, when you run outside, especially if you're going to do an extended run, which is anything over, let's say, 30 to 45 minutes, anything over an hour, you're really going to be burning some calories there. And I noticed that my bust changed into something that I really, really liked after I started running outside. Okay. And I wanted to talk to you too about this. Like, it's nice to change up your speed, which really changes your strength. It changes your whole body. It makes you better able to run. However, you don't have to be Speedy Gonzalez. Like I earlier today when I was running, I saw this guy, he passed me up while I was running. And sometimes that can, kind of grate on your nerves, especially for whatever reason you might be feeling like, nah, they're not going to pass me up. I'm not going that slow. And then as soon as he passed me up, I saw him stop and start walking again. You see, this is what I'm talking about. You don't necessarily have to go so fast outside. If you're running during the day, you're getting the added bonus of sweating more due to the sun beaming down on you. So you're going to burn more calories that way. And like the speed thing, that's mostly going to be like if you're on a treadmill. Now the pace calculator told me that hold on, let me just double check this. The pace calculator told me that my average speed was 4.7 miles per hour. You are going to have points in your run where you speed up and points where you slow down. My main thing that I do want to tell you is make sure that you don't stop. Try to curtail that stopping because that changes your momentum. And you just really want to get in the habit of not stopping because that's actually going to make you have more endurance. And you're going to be able to run longer miles for longer periods of time. But yes, this will help you. Right now, mine says 4.7 miles per hour. It has gotten up to, let's see here. Let's see. Let me just double check. Yeah, it has gone up to about 5.15 miles per hour. Um, it just depends. Like, hold on a second. But you really do want to get into the habit of not stopping at all. It's great to bring a water bottle, but you don't necessarily have to do that. You're going to find out when you start running, you're going to find out that kind of like less is more. So if I do know that it's raining, then I'll have to carry, hold on a second. Fire engine. Taxi. Sorry, these pants are huge on me. My arms are a little bit fatter because I've been, not so good on my diet. But just make sure when you do run that you're not stopping. Another thing you might notice is some people might beep the horn at you. Some people will wave at you. Some people will wave and smile in their cars, things like that. Hold on just a second. Potato. People do generally like it when they see women getting in shape, when they see you trying versus you not trying at all. So people do generally like to see people getting in shape. Yeah, just don't stop though. That's a tip there. Do not stop. Less is more. Only take a backpack if you have to. If you do have to buy something to eat when you are out on a run. Okay. When I was growing up, when I was in the car with my mom, we would go to McDonald's or something like that. If she would hand me a bag, she would expect me not to eat it. Like if I went in that bag and got a French fry, she would be like, "You act like you starved out or something." So this is kind of the same concept here. If you do have to, let's say if you do want to run, let's say if you do an hour run, maybe 6 miles or an hour and 30 miles, an hour and 30 minutes. Just depending on how much you can run and cover. And if you feel like you want to get something from a corner store that you're going to pass, maybe some chips or just whatever you want to eat. Or let's say, in San Antonio, breakfast tacos are very big. So let's say you are completing a 9-mile run or a 10-mile run. And at some point in your run, you're going to see like Las Palapas or something like that. And you want to take some money and, put it in a pouch or an armband or, in your boob, in your bust area. And you want to go to to Las Palapas and get like a chorizo and egg taco, which they claim is 200 calories online. Don't eat while you are out. So what you would do is that you would just put it in your backpack and then run your way home, because you always want to make sure that you're not eating when you are working out. Like Planet Fitness is one of these gyms where they have food and candy and stuff all the time. Just the way people act though at gyms, it lets you know why. Because you will see people, but before I even say that, this business of you going to Planet Fitness on a Monday, on the first Monday of the month, and they got pizza, that was an allure for me. That was kind of like, a benefit to me when I first started working out about 6 years ago. It was a benefit because it was like, that's why I know the days. I know that they have pizza on the first Monday of the month, and then they have bagels on like the second Tuesday of the month. That was that was a kind of like a good thing, a benefit when I was first starting to work out, probably like 6 years ago. It was a benefit. It was like, oh, okay, cool. You can work out and then you can get some food afterwards. Now, later on in life, like right now, I don't do all of that. I'm not going to Planet Fitness on the first Monday of the month to get no pizza or nothing like that. I'm not big on that unless I specifically have that set, have that idea set. So I know I'm gonna have breakfast here. I know I'm gonna have lunch here at the house, and then maybe later on I'll get a slice of pizza. Okay, and that's maybe. Um, yeah, I'll talk to you about diet a little bit later on, but just be leery of running places or walking places and getting something to eat. Like maybe walking to Starbucks to get a drink is not necessarily bad. Um, I was thinking about this the other day with this fasting thing, what I can have and what I can't have. Obviously, I can't have a mocha chocolate chip frappuccino with chocolate shavings on it and whipped cream and just all this other stuff. No, no, no. Like some minor tea. And this guy thinks he's a ballerina. Just a moment, okay? Yeah, I can't do that. I can't do that at all. So just when you when you run outside, if you do need to buy something, um, if you want, to treat yourself to like an ice cream. I'm sorry, I even said that. Excuse me, erase that from your mind right now. If you want to treat yourself to a milkshake, because an ice cream, again, we're we're advocating you eat the ice cream while you're walking. Now, if you want to treat yourself to like a milkshake, that's fine. If you want to walk the way home, that's fine. But don't eat it until you get home. Don't drink it until you get home. This is what I'm talking about. I can't think of too much else. I do want to do a video showing you how I run up hills. I'm hoping that this will help you out. I know it's kind of off and on. I mean, like there's some days that I get out there and I'm really trying to hit it hard, and I'm actually trying to increase my pace. And then there's other days where I'm like, well, I'm burning so much calories that I can just be really lax about it. Even if you are feeling like that, there are points in your run where you can increase your pace. Like say if you have a song that you really, really like that comes on your playlist. For mine is Yin Yang Twins, Not Salt Shaker, Whistle While You Work. That's my song. That's about 3.5 minutes, maybe 4 minutes. You can get your little 4 minute burst where you run really hard for that 4 minutes, and then you just take it back down to a brief jog. You're welcome to do that. And that's easy. That's easy. You can do it. It's not necessarily hit, but it's easy. The main thing I did want to say is you don't necessarily have to do like a 10-minute or 15-minute hit. You can always do when you're on your treadmill, you can always keep it pretty consistent. Like if you do want to run at 7.0 miles per hour, you don't have to do 5 miles per hour for a minute or 2 minutes and then bump up to 7.0 miles per hour for 2 minutes. I mean, trial and error is good, but you can always keep it consistent, and that weight will come off you. Drinking water, drinking your half your weight and water will also help the process. That's actually going to help a lot. I would like to tell you that I did used to fast 5 days and then have like 5 eat days after that. That's how a lot of my weight came off. I can't think of anything else. I'll just end this right here. But this is what I wanted to get on today, today live, and just talk to you about the benefits of running, some tips to get started running. Also, since I'm ending this, I do want to say, don't let, I don't know how to put this, but I'll just explain it to you. Like, say you've did your workout every day for 3 weeks, but then something throws you off. Like maybe you are having to visit family, going overseas, or going on some kind of vacation, or you just got sick. You were sick for about 2 days or 4 days. Don't let not working out for 4 days change. Don't let that linger into like 2 weeks or 3 weeks, or just taking a hiatus from working out. Health, fitness is the key to better health. So you always want to make sure that even if you do stop working out for like 4 days, or even if it is a week, you just get right back on the horse and you start working out again. Another thing I did want to talk to you about is kind of like overeating and binging, and then seeing, yourself heavier, your weight heavier on the scale, and that kind of depressing you, making you feel like what you've done hasn't worked, or it's never going to work for you. You're never going to be the pounds that you want, that weight that you want. So you just stop working out. I've done that before. Don't do that. Let's see here. Some of the well, that doesn't even apply to you. I was going to talk to you about gyms that you may use at universities, colleges, because I am enrolled in school for nursing, and I've had some experience with going to gyms that are attached to schools and stuff like that. But we don't really have to worry about that because everybody should be remote learning for the rest of the year. Just make sure that you're always working out. I can talk to you briefly about working out after you've had your child, what versus what the doctor says. You should listen to what the doctor says. And then when they tell you you can work out, then you'll want to work out. Now, I had to work out with a sore abdomen because I had a C-section that eventually went away. I also noticed that when I did try and run right after having Demarcus, it was not very easy. The best thing that I can suggest is doing what I did, which was it was a sit down exercise bike. That worked for me quite well. I'm almost done with this, but that worked for me quite well. I did lose some weight. I also incorporated it with fasting. Now, when I was pregnant, I would never fast. I would eat whatever I wanted to, and that's kind of like why I want to get pregnant again. I know that sounds crazy, but I felt like I just didn't know what I was doing, and I felt like I would like to have another shot at it. I didn't know what I was doing. I mean, I went from working out very hard to not working out too much at all, and thinking that, every day you can eat out. And I could eat out, but it wouldn't stay in my stomach. It wouldn't stay in. That would all come out. I mean, I remember when I went to Arby's and got like a gyro meal, which is what I normally get up. It all got thrown up. So just be mindful of that. While you're pregnant, you can work out. You want to ask your doctor first, but you can work out. Make sure you're not discouraged. I was completely discouraged from it because I was in El Paso at the time. I think I tried about, when I was like 3 months, one last shot, which is when I tried to walk to I guess the corner store or Walmart, wherever I was, and I got the worst headache, and I just assumed it was because I was pregnant. I even tried working out at the gym too, and it never worked for me. So I just stopped going. And I just, ate whatever I want to, and there were some consequences for that. Demarcus is he's not gonna fall over. He's not gonna fall over at all. Demarcus is 2 months 2 months premature. And that's because I had preeclampsia, because I was literally eating whatever I wanted to. I mean, if it was Chinese food, I was going to eat it. I mean, it was just whatever. And no, if you throw up whatever you eat, that doesn't mean that you're just going to start losing weight. I started out at 148 pounds when I found out that I was pregnant. That's what I weighed in that week or that day, something like that. And then I gradually went up to 170 pounds. It's a weird one. It's a weird thing, being skinny and then going from skinny, excuse me, not necessarily skinny, because I'm not skinny right now, but going from an okay weight to a different weight. So I did go up in some pant sizes, but since I have been comfortable with my weight before, I was still shopping at this store and that store. I think I was size 13. I went up to 175 pounds, and that was right before I had Demarcus. And then after I had Demarcus, I had no idea that your body is actually going to retain a whole bunch of calories due to breast milk production. So I'm 175, and actually I lost a little bit of weight, so I got down to like 165. Okay, and from there, I blew up. I was a little bit depressed, so I blew up all the way to 195 pounds. I started out in October of 2019, it was November, just like with a goal in mind, work out every day. Just whatever you do, work out every day. So I don't think, actually, I know. Demarcus, stop. Okay. Actually, I know that when I started working out, it was when I got really serious about it, it was like, walking 3.5 miles per hour, then running between 4.5 and 4.8 miles per hour. And then I just slowly scaled up for my speed. But I can't really think of too much else. Right now, I am going to be telling you about my videos that I'm going to be coming up with in these upcoming weeks. I'm going to show you how I run up hills, because I think that's very important. I'll probably take what I've said in this video and break it apart a little bit, and tell you which gloves to wear, this kind of thing. And then after I've told you all I know about running as far as tips is concerned, I'll probably start doing yoga classes, because I did do yoga classes when I was I did do yoga, not classes. I've never taught a class before, but I was big into yoga before I got pregnant with Demarcus. And now after I've had him, I'm big into it. Now I would try and put together an aerobics video for you. I mean, you can lose weight with diet, but I would also want you to incorporate running or jogging as well. I'm very big on running. I would like to in the future add on different types of sports and stuff like that. I really wouldn't mind kind of doing like track, adding in track to my regimen. And my kind of thought process behind that is CrossFit. CrossFit's motto is like compete at any age. But I noticed it's just with weightlifting. That's not everything about fitness. I mean, that's not everything about fitness or competition. I'm probably going to be, I'm going to see if there is any volleyball league open, because I did like volleyball when I was younger. So I'm going to start that up again. But that's not everything about competition and fitness. There's other aspects of fitness as well that people in their older age, like I am, would like to do. I mean, I would love to figure out how to do hurdles. Um, I mean, I can jump okay. It's just I can't jump as high as people who jump over hurdles. And I've noticed that, and I do want to work on that. Um, I can't really say anything else. I mean, my face is looking good. Other than that, um, and I just said that. I will tell you why I just said that. So when you lose weight, some of the time, not all of the time, but some of the time, your face will change with you losing weight. So it's going to look like you are 125 pounds versus when you were 190 pounds. When I look at myself, and this happens every time, believe it or not, this happens every time. When I lost weight the first time, I kept at it, and then I finally lost weight. And then I do a comparison, like I'll take a picture of how I was, maybe 4 months before and how I am, that day. I'll take a picture. And I personally don't like how I look overweight. I've seen some very beautiful women like Tess Holiday and Lizzo who wear it so well. They wear that weight so well. However, that was not my thing. That was not my experience. I didn't like how it made me look. So that's why. And right now, I'm still not happy with my weight. I mean, I love how my back looks. I actually have, nice muscle development. I have like columns, those columns that you'll see. So it's not as muscular as some of the bodybuilders, but I do have just a very nice back, a nice back that I really like. Now, when you've been seeing me get up, and I've been actually looking at myself when I come back over here, I am not too hot on my arms. Like here, you see them like this, they're skinny, but then when they're like this, just the basic posture for you, they're fat looking. So I really don't like that. I went from being a size like 15 or 16 down to like a size 7 or 6. So I like that. Like I said, I was wearing a 40 double D, and now I wear a 34B. I like that too. I'm just, I'm not big on gaining a whole bunch of weight. I've kind of changed my whole mindset. So right now, my mindset is more like, well, how will I feel in the next 4 years? So I know I got to get a degree. So that's why I'm doing, I study my books and stuff like that, because I know I want a degree. And it shouldn't take me 4 years, because I actually already have credits. I have like 60 credits now. So it shouldn't take me that long. But as far as how I look, and how my weight looks and appears to people, I do want to go ahead and change that, because I'm not big on being overweight, just because it doesn't look good on me. Like I said, I have seen so many beautiful women who are overweight, not overweight, who are just at a weight that they're comfortable at. I don't know why. I mean, that's not the best thing that I could say, that they're overweight. It's just they're at a weight that they're comfortable at, and they look great. They can wear anything, any type of makeup, all of that. Me, I'm just not like that. I don't even wear makeup anymore, just because I saw how it looked. So, I mean, and it didn't look good on me. So, I mean, I might put on a little bit of lipstick or, you know, some eyeshadow here and there. But I really feel like I don't need it. I noticed that I do have like a natural light there, and I like that. That's fine for me. But you will see me more often on here, because, you know, I am interested in fitness, and I'm, you know, I stay interested in fitness. I mean, that's not like a maybe thing, or it's nothing that I'm interested in giving up. My goals for these next years is to really find out a routine that I can do when I'm older, because I have been inspired by people like, I think her name is Ernestine. I can't think of what her last name is, but she's in her 80s or 90s, and she started lifting weights when she was in her 50s, and she still runs every day, probably about 3 miles every day. You can find her online. But that's the kind of stuff that I want to kind of train myself to think. Now it's like working out, you can think of it as a seasonal thing, like just to lose weight. But you can also think of it how I think of it, more of like just a lifestyle. Like, this is how I want to live my life. When I'm 40 years old, I want to still do my same routine. I'm thinking I'll stop my routine and change it into something lower, like that's less intensive when I'm about 48 or 50 years old, depending on how I feel. When I'm 60 years old, I want to see if I can do a low intensity workout every day, and still maintain the weight that I want to maintain, and the health benefits as well. I don't think I'm going to stop working out until about probably like 85. And even then, it would probably feel so weird to me because I'm so used to working out daily. So that's the kind of stuff I think about. Subscribe, share this, do whatever you can. Okay, bye.